At the height of the 1971 India-Pakistan War, as Indian forces closed in on Dhaka and the creation of Bangladesh became inevitable, a secret conversation was unfolding far from the battlefield. Newly unsealed Watergate records now reveal that US President Richard Nixon privately assured China that Washington would back Beijing if it chose to attack India. The disclosure comes from sworn testimony Nixon gave during the Watergate grand jury proceedings. 7 pages of that testimony were sealed for nearly 5 decades. What they contain is explosive. Nixon admitted that the United States was prepared to support Chinese military action against India during an active war in South Asia. In his own words, Nixon told the grand jury that while the Soviet Union was backing India and arms supply to Pakistan were officially embargoed, the US was giving Pakistan moral support. He then added something far more serious. Nixon said the US privately assured China that if India moved against Pakistan and China decided to take on India, Washington would support Beijing. He was clear this was his decision, not Henry Kissinger's. Now, this testimony was kept secret even from most Watergate prosecutors. It was classified and sealed separately because of its sensitivity. Nixon himself warned prosecutors not to pursue that line of questioning, saying it would open a dangerous can of worms. The fear was simple. The statement exposed Cold War planning that could have shown the US was willing to widen a regional war into a great power confrontation. To understand why, one must return to 1971. Nixon viewed the war almost entirely through a Cold War lens. India had just signed a treaty of friendship with the Soviet Union. In Washington, this deepened the belief that New Delhi was aligned with Moscow. Pakistan, despite its military brutal crackdown in East Pakistan, was seen as strategically vital. Islamabad was the secret bridge between Washington and Beijing. Pakistan had facilitated Nixon's historic opening to China. In his testimony, Nixon said the US felt a deep obligation to Pakistan and feared that abandoning it would damage American credibility with China. The war itself was not about territorial ambition. It was driven by a humanitarian catastrophe. After Pakistan's military rejected the 1970 election verdict, millions of Bengali civilians fled into India. New Delhi first sought international pressure. That failed only after Pakistan launched preemptive airstrikes on December 3 did India act. 13 days later, Pakistan surrendered in Dhaka and Bangladesh was born. China never intervened. The war ended before any such move could happen. But the testimony confirms that the United States was prepared for that possibility and had privately chosen sides against India. This aligns with other actions at the time, including the movement of a US naval task force into the Bay of Bengal. Now, why does this matter now? For India, it confirms what has long been suspected, that during one of the most decisive moments in South Asian history, the US was not neutral. It also shows how close the region came to a far wider conflict. The documents are a reminder that behind public diplomacy, hidden decisions can shape history, sometimes decades before the truth comes out.